Part 2 of my comic book haul from August 28th, 2019, coming up next. What's up, comic book fans? My name is Bruce Monroe and welcome back to the channel and happy Labor Day, everyone. Today is September 2nd, 2019, and this is part 2 of my comic book haul from August 28th, 2019. This video will be coming out tomorrow, which will be September 3rd, and I know it's like the day before comic book day, but I just wanted to get my reviews out for the whole week of last week, which was August 28th, 2019. So we have 9 books to review, and let's go over what those books are. Those books are Captain America, number 13, Ascender, number 5, Avengers, 23, Justice League, number 14, Detective Comics, 1010, Mountainhead, number 1, Amazing Spider-Man, 28, The Flash, 76, and The Flash, 77. Alright guys, I'm going to try to keep this a little shorter than normal because I know I got another video to make right after this. So let's jump right into the first book. The first book is Captain America, number 13. This is written by Ta-Nehisi Coates and art by Jason Masters and Sean Aziz. God, me with names. It's terrible. Sorry, everyone. But check out this Alex Ross cover. So freaking nice. And to keep this short, this book is just absolutely amazing. What they're doing with Cap is, I don't know if it's original, but it's the first time I've ever read a Captain America book where they've done this, where the story is so much more than just Captain America. It's the team around Captain America saving him as a person, but also trying to save the name of Captain America and bring back to what he was. Because what the villains of this book have done is tarnished that name and made that name, you know, not really mean what it meant before. And they're coming in situations where they actually ask Cap what they want to do or what he wants to do, and he says one thing, and the team is like, well, if you really want to get this done, we can't do it your way anymore. Your way is old and it doesn't work, and we need to do new things. And I know you're from a time where you think this would have worked, but it just doesn't work anymore. And I think that's fantastic. And there's a lot of leading ladies in this book, which is another thing where I'm gravitating towards. I think what is really strong for the Marvel Universe, comic book universe right now is they have so many strong female characters, and they're really shining in this book. It is an awesome, awesome read. The art by Jason Masters. So this is a new team from the previous books. It's okay. I didn't really like it all that much, but again, the story is so good that the art didn't really need to lift the story up anymore. The story is just so good by itself that the art was just kind of like helping it along a little. And I can't say enough. I've reviewed, I think, the last book a little while ago, and this is just, if you're not picking up Cap, you need to be picking up Cap. This is an awesome, awesome book. It's not a great jumping in point, but if you can pick up the previous in trade or find the singles for the previous book, this is a great, great book. All right, next up we have Ascender, number 5. This is written by Jeff Lemire and art by Dustin Nguyen, or Nigel? Dustin Nguyen. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments below. But this continues to be an incredible series. Yeah, it's, again, every time I review this book, it's magic, it's technology, they're shoved in together into some far-off universe, so we get aliens, and we get trolls, and flying fairies, and vampires, and all these things that I love that are all just mashed into one book. The short of it is that magic users are trying to wipe out technology. I don't know 100% why, but they are. So they're going around, and the main character is a father and a daughter, and they're trying to run away because they have some tech, and they're known previous, I believe, in the Descender series. But oh man, this issue particularly, out of all 5 issues that I've read so far, this is the best one. It was such a good read, and Dustin Nguyen's art is so beautiful. And there's a little twist at the end, and you think something happens, and then it goes a little further. You're like, wait, what? No! Yeah, this book is super, super fun. I love Jeff Lemire. He's such an amazing writer, and this book is a must-read. Is it a great jumping in point? No, because, again, it's issue number 5, but it's a super fun read. All right, so next up we have Avengers 23, I believe. Yes, Avengers 23. This is written by Jason Aaron and art by Stefano Casil. This book was decent. It wasn't one of Jason Aaron's like amazing Avengers books, but it's setting up the whole Ghost Rider saga. So there's going to be this whole thing with Johnny Blaze and Jamie Reyes, and there's some really good scenes between the two, because Johnny Blaze is the ruler of hell, and Jamie Reyes is stuck down there with his car, and his car is crazy, and we find out that he hasn't actually unlocked all the powers of the car. We see a whole bunch of other Ghost Riders down there, and I think they're kind of rooting for Jamie. And the other Avengers are actually fighting their base. There's this being, I think we found out at the end of the book, yes, who has made the structure come to life, the old Celestial. And it's a really good twist at the end, and it's also tying into the Ghost Rider things, which is pretty cool. I don't want to ruin anything, but this was a solid book. I'm really enjoying Jason Aaron's run on Avengers. Not every issue has been amazing, but they've all been good, and they're all leading up to something big. Like, Jason Aaron does a really good job of story building, like seeding things along the way that then blossom later. And this, I think, is going to be tying into some of the stuff they did in previous issues of this run. So I'm really looking forward to see that happen. So I enjoyed this. Is it a great jumping in point? If you're going to jump in now, this actually wouldn't be a terrible jumping in point, because this is the start of the whole Ghost Rider thing. But if you want the whole story, obviously go back and read the 22 previous issues. All right, up next we have Justice League Dark number 14. This is written by James Tynion IV and art by Alvaro Martinez and Raul Fernandez. I didn't love this cover. There might have been a variant, but I guess I didn't like that one either because I grabbed this one. But this book is so good. I have been slowly falling in love with Jason Tynion's writing. Each of the books that he's been doing for DC, I've been absolutely loving. And this is a winner. This is such an amazing book. The artwork by Alvaro Martinez and Raul Fernandez is amazing. And I just love that DC is using some of these lesser known characters, and also some characters that are big in the DC universe that aren't really being used in any of the books that I remember. But characters like Zatanna, she's a huge magician in the DC universe, and we never really see her used very well, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion, but in this book, she's great. And Wonder Woman, I've never been a big Wonder Woman fan, but what James is setting up and leading up to in this book is really good. I'm really interested in her character and how she's tying into this whole magic. To get you guys caught up just a little, this team has destroyed what magic was. Like, all the rules of magic no longer exist, and they're trying to rewrite them in time. And there's this big bad, the Upside Down Man, and other characters that are all tying into this thing. And he's doing such an excellent job of telling this story, and it's just really fun. And the artwork, oh man, I just really love all the characters, like Constantine, Detective Chimp, Swamp Thing. It's a really good book. It's really fun. Yeah, I highly suggest you guys pick this book up. It was really, really good. This whole run has been solid. Yeah, Justice League Dark number 14. Not a good jumping in point. Definitely pick out the previous books, otherwise you'd be probably lost a little bit, but an excellent, excellent book. All right, next up we have Detective Comics number 1010. This is written by Peter J. Dasami and art by Christian Deuce. And this is that Jay Lee cover that I showed you guys in the previous videos. Jay Lee's artwork is so good. Okay issue. Not bad, not great. There's some kind of cool things in there. So if you read the previous book, you know that Bruce Wayne was on this plane as Bruce Wayne, not Batman. Deadshot comes on, he's contracted. You find out in this issue that he's contracted to kidnap this plane of billionaires. And you meet two new characters that are just these two old guys from, I guess, World War II or World War I, whatever war was in 1945, which is, I guess, World War II. I am not a historian. You can make fun of me down in the comments below. But that scene was actually pretty cool between those two characters from the war. They've been stuck on this island since that war, and one was from Japan and one is an American, and that was pretty cool. But overall, I don't know where they're going with the story. It's kind of seems like its own little realm, own universe. It is somehow going to tie into the end of the last couple issues. You keep getting these Mr. Freeze moments. And I know they're leading up to something to do with him, but I don't know, this lead-up story just seems kind of weird. It's an okay book. Like I said, not a great book, not a bad book. I enjoyed reading it, but I'm not super hyped about it. I'm like, you guys have to pick up this book. So if you like Batman like me, pick it up. If not, this is probably an issue you can skip. All right, next up, we have Mountainhead #1, my first IDW book on the channel. This is written by John Lees and art by Ryan Lee. This was an interesting book. I picked it up because it was a #1. It was an IDW book. I've never read an IDW book on the channel before, and interesting. It's about a kid. You learn in the issue, spoiler, this is going to be a spoiler review because the only way I can really talk about it, I think. A kid is kidnapped when he's 3 and raised by this father or person who is constantly on the run, and he's a thief, and he takes his kid from this house and raises him as his own child. And this guy is obviously crazy. He's lost his marbles, and you definitely see that in the issue. And this kid learns to be a thief and believes in his father, or this figure who he believes is his father, and believes this whole tale. It's kind of more of like a, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It definitely feels like kind of like a show that would be on Showtimers or AMC or something. And it's definitely a different comic book for me. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was definitely interesting. It was well written for sure. John Lees did a great job writing this book. I was definitely interested in the characters, and the way he crafted the person's story who was the father was really done really well. The art by Ryan Lee was interesting. I haven't seen him before. It was decent artwork. His panel layout was good. A lot of information on all the panels, a lot of detail. I can't say that I love it or hate it, or I could recommend this book, because again, I'm kind of like on the border of like, I'm not sure how I feel about this book. I'm gonna pick up the next few issues and kind of see where it goes. And yeah, that's a great jumping in point because it's the #1, but I'm not sure how I feel about the book. That's what I'm gonna leave with you guys with. All right, up next we have 2 or 3 books left. We have so next up we have The Amazing Spider-Man #28. This is written by Nick Spencer and art by Kev Walker. I don't love it again, and I don't hate it. I'm a big Spidey fan, and I'm not absolutely loving where Nick Spencer's going with this whole run. I shouldn't say I don't love what he's doing with this Spidey character. I love what he's doing with the world around Spider-Man. What he's done with the Kingpin, what he's done. I'm not sure if he's done it. Might have been in the Daredevil book, but what the Marvel Universe is doing with the Kingpin. I love what he's building with Boomerang being Spidey's roommate. I love what he's doing with his other roommate, which I can't think off the top of my name, but that was a big part of this book. And the other character, the villains, this new syndicate, of all female characters. So I think that's, again, the Marvel Universe is doing a great job of building up their female characters, and that was done well in this book. But again, Spidey's story just seems kind of bland and boring. He seems like an extra character to his own book, which I guess, if done right, because I think that's what they're doing in Captain America, and that book is doing an excellent job of it. And I just don't, it's just not as good of a job in this book, but I didn't like it at the beginning when I first started reading this book, but at the end I was like smiling, I was laughing, and I'm really interested to see where this goes. The art by Kev Walker is a little cartoony, but it still lifted the book up a little bit. So again, I can't recommend this book because I'm not absolutely loving it. But if you're into Spider-Man and you want to see what's going around in his world, this is kind of a good book. But again, not a good jumping in point because we are 28 issues in. So, yeah, again, decent, not great. All right, so as I mentioned in the other video, I started picking up Flash again. I picked up issue 77, which I'm going to review next. So this is from 2 weeks ago, I believe. Flash 76. I looked in the inside. I was like, oh man, the artwork is so good. And the artwork is by Rafa Sandoval, Jordi Tarragona, and Scott Collins. It's just beautiful. It's gorgeous, gorgeous artwork. Let me see if I can get a two-page spread. And I'm just loving it. So this is written by Joshua Williamson still, and art by Rafa Sandoval, Jordi Tarragona, and Scott Collins. And the story is definitely a little better than what I thought it was going to be, because I don't love this whole Speed Force, or Force, all the forces that are being released. Sage, Strength, Still, the whole story is not interesting to me. I think it's kind of lame. They're killing off the Speed Force with all these other forces because they were never supposed to be released. And that story is kind of boring to me, but I did like what came out of year one and how the Flash is trying to make amends. And I loved seeing Kid Flash and what is this other girl's name? I'll put that up on screen. She's this purple speedster. Her character is pretty cool. She's running around with Kid Flash. I know those two are friends. That whole story is much more interesting to me now. There's a new Sage or Still Force user, which I guess you had to read the annual, which I didn't read because I was like kind of out of the Flash. But oh man, this artwork, I can't get enough of it. It's so good. I am kind of like the power, since this is the year of the villain, and Lex Luthor gave all the villains basically a power up by giving them either technology or money. And what the Rogues are doing, they're getting together, they're going to be all powered up. I'm a big fan of the Flash Rogues. They're really good, and I just love, I mean, this Captain Cold with the beard. Why wouldn't they give him a beard before? He looks so badass. The Weather Wizard in issue 2 was super cool, and I like what they're doing. There's a black racer, I think the Black Flash, and he's only around when someone's either a speedster is about to die and they're going to be absorbed into the Speed Force. And so we see that in issue 77, which is a really cool thing, but he's not going after the Flash. If you can see where I'm getting at, I don't want to ruin anything for anyone, since this book just came out last week and maybe you guys haven't read it yet, but that was a really cool twist in the book. I really like I said, I like what they did with Weather Wizard. His power up was really cool. See if I can find that real quick. But this story's definitely got much, much better. I'm glad I picked it up. I'm gonna see where this goes. Oh, where is it? Maybe I guess it was in 76. But yeah, definitely much, much better. Definitely worth picking up. We're only in issue, this is like, yeah, 77 is the second issue of this book, but it is worth picking up. I really enjoyed this. I think you guys would enjoy this too. So give Flash a chance. I know I've been knocking on it a lot, but Joshua Williams, I think, is getting to a point where the story's going to get really interesting. These new powers are hopefully going to be a lot more interesting than what they have been. But yeah, that's going to do it for this catch-up episode. I am or part 2 of my comic book haul from August 28th. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought of, if you guys picked these books up, let me know what you guys thought. If you guys picked up other books that I missed, because I know last week was a huge week. I know I didn't pick up Marvel 1000, I wasn't really interested in that book, but I did see a lot of people posting that they enjoyed it. What did I miss? Let me know what I missed down in the comments below. And as always, if you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button. If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure you guys get yourself subscribed. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, but do stay tuned. Stephanie and I are recording a few videos today, so those will be on the channels in the next 2 weeks. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.